I understand both sides of what you're both arguing, but to kind of elevate the conversation just a little bit, what is the greatest thing that Black people export? What is the number one thing that Black people export to the
I think
world?
you should answer that because you like our
No,
culture
no,
so much.
but I'm giving you, I'm allowing you guys to participate as well.
Let
What
me
Nothing.
do you feel is
let me
the
just
greatest
Ask
thing that
what
Black
is the
people
thing that
hold on,
you
export?
y'all. One mic so
also
they can hear
export?
us. Let's just do one mic. Let's not cut off each other. Let's make sure we have a mature conversation about this. Go ahead, Luis. Finish.
I would like to for anybody to answer what is the greatest thing or the number one thing that Black people export to the world?
Nothing.
Entertainment.
Influence.
Nothing.
I just feel like
Entertainment.
you should answer. I feel like if you appreciate our culture so much, you should make the statement, not ask the question.
I already have my own position that I'm going to share, but I would like for everybody else to give their own position of how what they think and how they feel. You know what I'm saying? I think it just makes the whole conversation that much more richer. I don't want to make it seem like I'm centered and I'm just telling you what it is. I think it's just
Maybe
more of an opportunity to kind of have it. But if you want me to, I think the greatest thing or the number one thing that Black people export is culture and influence, right? Just stop and think about how far the music travel, how far fashion travels, how far uh certain communication styles stop. Think how far influence in all aspects, not only in music, fashion, but in also art, but also in other areas. I think, for the brother that first said like we don't export nothing, I disagree. I think that you do export things. It might not be in the matter of a product per se, although there are some. I say, culture and influence is the number one thing that is exported.
It's
well,
intellectual
well,
property. It's
I
not,
said
it's
nothing.
intellectual
I
property
said
is being exploited.
I said nothing because he didn't say exploited. He said exported. We're not exporting as Black people anything. Exploiting and exporting is two different things. So as Black people in America, we aren't exporting anything to the rest of the world. Now, as Black people in America, we are being exploited. And if I may so answer the question, I think the Black community is trash, amazing at the same
What?
time. It's trash and it has some aspects that's amazing. About Black people. Black people are strong. We're resilient. So it's some amazing aspects about it. I think it's a culture that's a culture of victimization, some forced and some self-inflicted, brainwashed, and like somebody else said, we're exactly where we're supposed to be, where they want us to be. You understand what I'm saying? None of us. The problem is none of us can get on a code like we was talking about a couple panels before. Everybody wants to make somebody feel good about some bullshit that they doing instead of just saying, nah, you wrong. This is what we supposed to be doing. And Black people was some of the most racist people I've ever met. I met like a couple white racist people. You feel me? Like, but as Black people, we've become racist just based off the things we've saw and the things that they've taught us. Because I'm not gonna lie, up until maybe like 2020, I used to be like that. I used to see a white person and no, I'm not gonna lie. I used to put it in my brain like I'm not. If they say hi to me, I'm not gonna say hi back. If they coming behind me, I'm not gonna open the door. But I was only doing that because I was like, you see this movie? You see this, right? And then I would see like videos of pictures and of them hanging people or whatever. But it just came off being brainwashed. So Black people in America is brainwashed, and we have to stop that and just want to be better and be accountable and just know that other cultures is gonna judge us. That's what people do. We judge other cultures all the time. We can't just be like, oh, just because they're not in our community, they shouldn't have anything to say. I mean, that's that's kind of a dumb way to think because we're in America. It's a melting pot. We're all living together at the end of the day. Our culture affects them just like their culture affects us. The thing about us is that we promote and we love the worst things about our culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy. It's the cop out to say every culture has its bad ways and shit like that. But yeah, of course, but they not upholding that shit up. Like, you don't see the Asian, the most famous Asian woman saying, I want to marry a drug dealer. Like, you don't see that. You know what I'm saying? Even though, of course, you know, some Asians do marry drug dealers, they not promoting that. And that's just the thing about our culture. I yield there.
You don't see it because you're not in their business. They do promote that. They have the
But
same. That's what I'm saying.
that's my point. They don't promote it. It's there. It's just
They
not
are
promoted.
promoting it. You're just not their target audience. We're their target audience. So they see everything we do because we're being held under a microscope. As
By
somebody who
promote it, what do you mean?
they celebrate it, they adapt to it, they have the same things and they are okay with it, and
But
it is at the
see, the thing
forefront.
is, it's not their it's not the perception of them to the rest of the world, though.
Based
You
on
understand
the
what I'm
fact
saying?
they're not the center of our world and held under a microscope to us because we don't focus on them. We have too much stuff to focus on.
See, the thing is,
They're focused on us. That stuff that you say doesn't exist, it's not in your realm because you don't care. You can't say that you've experienced and saw you saw the Asian hip hop, the Asian K-pop awards. You've watched that every year and saw Asian people perform. You've watched it on you're not immersed in their culture the way that there are in ours. That's
okay,
why you don't see it.
I can understand what you're saying, but see, I'm not saying that they don't have it, and there may or may not be some people in their culture that do bad things or
There are a lot of
popularize
people in
bad
these
things.
cultures that do bad things.
But what
I
I'm
don't know why y'all
what I'm saying is
like the Asian community. They have the
what I'm saying is
triads.
Hold on,
They
Aisha.
have
Hold on,
can y'all
Aisha.
not hear me?
I
Can y'all
live
Hold on,
in
y'all.
Japan.
Hold on, y'all. One mic,
can you not
so
hear
they
me?
How
can.
y'all pretend like this is only something that happens
Can you
in the
not hear
black
me?
community and
Hold
it
on,
Can you
happens
not hear
Aisha.
me?
on a large
Aisha.
scale overseas?
Aisha. Aisha. Let him finish. Let him finish, and then you can respond. Go ahead,
The
Quill.
thing is, it's not about all that. It's not that this is the only thing that happens or this only happens in the black community. It's that when you see an Asian man walking down the street, you don't lock your doors. You don't be like, oh shit. Even me as a black man, I'd be like, oh shit. All right, bet. Let me grab you feel me? It's a thing. It's a thing. We can't lie. And the thing is, black, maybe I won't even say black, but women, maybe y'all maybe live in this world to where y'all can act like it's fake and it could be all bubbly and shit. But as a man out here in the world, when I see a black man walking in his dark and walking, okay, let me grab my strap because I'm from Detroit. So it's it's a mental thing. If I seen an Asian dude walking by, I'm not gonna grab my strap. I'm not gonna lie. It's just a perception from the rest of the world. They see us that way, and we put that out there. That's all. We put that out there, and it's cap to say we don't.